Hi guys, I'm back with another 8.5 by 11 layout, and I'm using my stash again for this one. That white piece of cardstock there, I'm just showing you, I was trying to tip it up so that you could see that it was scored. So I didn't score it all the way down, I scored like really close lines, like 1/8 of an inch, and then for 2 inches. Then I didn't score for an inch, and then I scored for 2 more inches, 1/8 of an inch, and just continued like that. So it made these cool bands across the page, which you can't really see in the video with the lighting. It washes it out, but it adds some texture to it, and it looks pretty cool. So for this layout I'm playing with my stash again, and I'm having all kinds of fun this time with the pink paisley solstice. Really like the colors in this one, and it's all nautical, so it goes with my whole, our new boat, and we're having all kinds of fun with that. So it seemed like a natural to put together. And so this photo I took actually just before we were going to load the boat. We were done, cruising around that evening, and Mr. Man was gone to get the truck, to get the trailer to load it. And I was waiting for him to come down, but I ran in the boat and grabbed my phone because we hadn't unloaded yet. And so I took this pano with my phone because I was looking at the lighting and I was going, oh wow, this is really nice. I wish we would have stayed a little longer because the sky would have got a little pinker, but that's Mrs. Photography in me. I always want the best light. So I wanted to do this one really simple. I mean, I think all my layouts are simple, but this one's like super simple. Like there is not a lot on this page. But the photo's really big, and I didn't want to load it up. I didn't want all the layer this time. So I did a tiny amount of layering all at the bottom with the title and that, what do you call that? The sort of compass thing on the pier. I think it's called pier. I'm learning all the boat stuff, so I don't really know the names of everything. Anyway, in the pano, I didn't mind putting that right on the photo because when you take a pano and you spin in place, if you pivot instead of going, walking sideways, any lines will become curved, and I forgot that, so I didn't take my pano properly. So in effect, I guess what I'm saying is I covered up my boo-boo so that it would be less noticeable. And it's a good leading line for an embellishment there anyway, so I like the placement of it, even though, like I say, I'm correcting an error. And so the bottom, like I said, I did some sewing, and so I tried to save some time. Who wants to watch me sew? I mean, it's like watching paint dry. The Indeed is from a thicker pack, all those packs with all the words in it, and it was black foam, and so I painted it and painted it and painted it and painted it to get it white, because I didn't want black. I've got navy on this photo, on this layout, and I didn't want to introduce another color. So I painted it a whole bunch of times, and then I used my white stamp pad and stamped some white ink on the top of it, and that did it. That made it like opaque. And so now I'm just going to get some gold enamel dots down here and there. And I guess I end up using these like, paint splatters. But I don't paint splatter because I like the control. I actually prefer the look of paint splatters, but I don't like that you can't remove them when they don't land where you want. So that's why I use the enamel dots. And so I like that when they just look sort of sprinkled around like that. And I think I'm just going to give you a close-up, and that's about it. Oh, right, and I used that knockout punch. That's what I used earlier to make my holes for sewing. So there you go. That's it for this one. See you next time, guys.